Some days it feels impossible to start. Not because we've run out of ideas or materials or interest, but because there's just no time, or not the right time. Not enough of a stretch, too many things pulling at the edges. and so we wait. We wait for a quieter afternoon, for the dishes to be done, for the to-do list to shrink, and we wait until we feel rested, until we feel ready. But often that moment doesn't come, and the art we want to make, the thing we long to sit down and do, gets gently pushed away, pushed to the side again and again, and then we wonder why we feel restless or stuck or slightly off balance. Welcome to Doodle Club with me, Cate Field of the Alternative Art School. A huge warm welcome to you. Today is all about the tiny ways we can begin again, even when we feel too busy to start anything at all. We're going to talk about how 5 minutes is enough. A few lines, a little swirl, a corner of the page, because perfection can wait. But creativity, even in its smallest form, can meet us right here. So stop for a moment and come and join me. Let me tell you a story. There was once a woman who had a whole collection of beautiful pens. Some were bought on holiday, some more gifts, and one was so lovely that she hadn't started to even use it yet. This woman also had sketchbooks and notebooks and watercolour pads and lined journals, each one begun with great hope and then all left half finished, waiting for the perfect moment, which never came, because there were always socks to wash and emails to answer and the dog to walk and a slightly annoying dishwasher to unload. And so the pens stayed in their box and the pages stayed blank. And the woman told herself, I'll start something properly when I have more time. I want to do it well and not in a rush, maybe next week. Until one day, nothing dramatic happened. No revelation, no grand shift, just a quiet moment. A mug of tea that hadn't quite gone cold, and 5 minutes before she had to leave the house. And she opened a sketchbook. She picked up a pen and she drew one swirl in the corner of the page. Well, of course, that woman is me, and I wonder how many of you can relate to my little story. Welcome if you are new, and welcome back if you've been with me for ages. If you have been with me for ages, you will know that I do love a story. And in today's Doodle Club, it's really going to be focusing on the sort of things that you can do without too much thought, with very little preparation, and most importantly, when you have very little time. And it's one of the things that I think so many of us put off creating, drawing, doodling, art, creating anything of anything, really, because we don't have time. And of course, we all have the same 24 hours in a day, don't we? But how we use that time, well, it can get complicated because we are drawn into so many different things, aren't we? We have various obligations that we have to attend to. So in this little tutorial, I'm going to show you various different ways in which you can just take 5 minutes to create. So on this page, this is just a little page of doodles. This is actually my April sketchbook that I know it's May because I haven't finished it yet. And I've still got a couple of pages to go. And I thought this would be the perfect opportunity to create a little border, a little boundary I'm using fountain pen, which I love using. But I would encourage you to use something that makes you happy, and don't leave it in a drawer. Just put it to one side and so that it's there for you. So that's my first little one. Is a doodle, 5 minutes doodle. And if that is all you have time for, then off you go and do the things that you feel that you need to do. Or you can stay with me for a little bit longer, or you can just pause this and come back. I'm going to be using whatever I have to hand. So I've been working with some of my little students. We've been doing little landscapes, we've been doing little bugs. It's been great fun. But one of the things that I really want to stress when we are so short of time is use what you have in front of you. So I've just got an acrylic pen here. I'm going to carry on with this idea of just doodling. I'm just making swirls. I'm not thinking about it too much. I'm just putting the mark on the page. I have a little mantra. The mark you make is the correct mark. So there's no right or wrong here. It's just you picking up the pen and playing. And if you only have a few minutes, that's all you need to do, because those minutes will add up. And there will be a time when you do have longer, and then you can come back to your little doodles and do some more. Last year I created a small journal called Echoes of Quiet Landscapes, which never got finished because I ran out of time. But the whole point of this journal was that I could return. And as you can see, lots and lots of blank spaces. But I was creating tiny little landscapes. So I thought I would take this advantage and do some on here. This is just a flip out book. I love making them. They're very easy to make. I have a whole tutorial on them. I've started this one, never finished it. I'm going to be doing some tiny little studies in watercolour. And I'm just creating these little squares, these little rectangles. I'm not drawing, just going straight in. And I'm just going to be using 2 or 3 colours because I want you to see just how quickly you could put together an idea that you could then come back to when you have more time. And when you do come back, it's not like you're starting from scratch, is it? Because you've already made a beginning. So it's easier. And this technique of starting something and not finishing it and then coming back to it later is a really good one. It's really good for the next time. And I do it with my writing as well. And when I teach my writing workshops, the sort of creative writing, I quite often will say to my students and the participants, so I was a school teacher for a very long time, so I can't get out of the habit of calling you all my students. But it means that you've got something to start with. You don't have that blank page, which can be very daunting. So as you can see, I've just put these 2 colours in. I'm using my Analinki paints. I really like them. They're very inexpensive. I've put a link in the description of the paints that I use. Tiny little pieces, and they're just so good when you are in a hurry and you think, I can't do anything, but I feel a need to do something. And I totally understand that. So I'm just going to get my other book, my April book. I'm just going to swap that over. So we've done these doodles. And I have got just a couple of pages left of this lovely book. And I do encourage people to work in a sketchbook. I think it's really nice. So it could be a sketchbook, it could be a journal. And your sketchbook you use it however you want to use it. I like to use it to put ideas in, play around with an idea, see what happens. Just creating. Again, these ones a little bit bigger, but this idea is just sort of blues, a whole load of blues, I think. The weather. Need a weather update. Those of you who are new might not know that I do a weather update. Still not quite sure how it started, actually, the weather, but I absolutely love hearing what the weather is doing in different parts of the world, because you're all from such fascinating places. So here in the West Country, in Dorset, southwest England, oh my goodness, the weather is amazing. We've had days and days and days of beautiful sunshine, and it's just lovely. And so the sea, because I live by the sea, I am so blessed, is just a gorgeous turquoise actually at the moment. Just so nice. I'm just putting some waves, waves of watercolour. Just again, this is a journal where I do like to write, so I'm just leaving some space. You see, just put a blob of water down, blob of paint, and let it do its own thing. I love that. And don't worry about it all going horribly wrong. It doesn't matter. Again, I'm just going to leave that. And then we'll just go on to the next thing that I'm going to do in this quick 5-minute things that you can do. No, things that you can do in 5 minutes. Oh my goodness. So we're going to look at collage. This was a book I started at the beginning of April. Just wanted to put in some neutral shades, and I am going to be doing some writing, but this is a collage book in sort of preparation, really. There's no time frame to it at all. I'm using scraps of papers that I've done, where I've done a sort of experiments with, or in my art classes. I've just got leftover bits, really. I'll use old maps, bits of newspaper, and we'll just see what happens. And again, if you haven't got a lot of time, this is a good way to create something interesting. And trying not to get distracted by the collage pieces, which is one of the things that does happen. I've said in one of my collage tutorials before, when I was teaching A-level students, so they are the sort of 16, 17, 18-year-olds here in the UK, or in England, and I got them just sort of doing collage from magazines, and they were magazines like Gardener's World and Country Living and that kind of thing. And oh dear, they were so funny. They really got into some of the articles and wanted to save the recipes and things like that. It was very sweet, which wasn't what I had in mind for them, but it was lovely. Again, when you're doing collage, if you have your papers ready, then you can just dip into them. I like to keep sort of tones and colour tones together. That again saves a little bit of time. And I also have words and phrases, some of my own poems that I've printed out. So I've got some of these that I used in a workshop last week. And so I can tear these out and put them in. And again, it's about you, when you do have time, you do a little bit of preparation so that when you don't have very much time, you don't have to faff about trying to find things, because you know where they are. That does require a little bit of organisation, and you might be like me and not naturally organised, but it does pay off. So there we are. I'm leaving some spaces here for some words. So I will use one of my lovely pens. I've got a couple of gorgeous Jinhao fountain pens. I like different pens because I can have different colour inks in them. And then this is a Lamy pen, which again I really like. I will put the links below, but you may have your own favourite. You do your own thing with your own favourite. So I'm just going to show you some of the things that I've done here, multiple layers and things like that. So we've got those as well. I'll just come back to these, and I'm just going to go in with a acrylic marker pen, my little studies, and I might add to these over the next few days and a few weeks, but at the moment this is how they are, and that's okay because I've done something. And just like that, you started, and I hope you have really enjoyed this session. Even a few minutes with a pen can shift something, can't it? It can bring a little light, a little space for you. And if today's doodles felt good, come back and do some more. Or perhaps you'd like to try another tutorial, perhaps this one or this one, because there are plenty more ready just for you. Until next time, take care. Bye bye.